So you're running for Congress in Florida. I guess tell me a little bit about your district and what they are expecting from you. What are you running on?
Okay. Well, I am. I'm running for the U.S. Congress in Florida's 5th District. And my district happens to be one that was just recently found unconstitutional by a court in the state of Florida. It's a gerrymandered district. It's one of the top 5 gerrymandered districts recognized in the country. I'm running against a 21-year incumbent. I'm a conservative Republican. I was born and raised in this district. You know, I talk a lot about being from this district, being born to a mom that was on welfare, being the 5th child born to my mom when she was at the age of 20 years old. So I understand what it's like to be poor, and I understand entitlement programs, but more importantly, I understand that out of the 27 districts in the state of Florida, we've just not been able to be very prosperous. We have a very high unemployment rate. We face the same national issues that people are talking about all over this country, which is truly economic development and jobs. And so I knew that I had to either be a part of the problem or stay a part of the problem or be a part of the solution. So I decided that I was going to run last year, and you know, it's very hard to believe that 16 months has gone by so fast, and now we have 39 days until the election. So I'm excited about the change that's coming.
Great. Well, I guess tell me a little bit about running as an African-American conservative in this gerrymandered district, or challenges that have come up with this, or struggles that you've had.
Right. Well, you know, it's amazing because I can honestly tell you a few years ago when you talked about being a conservative, especially a black conservative, you were looked at as the Uncle Tom, or maybe you've betrayed your people, or your political ideology was a little warped. But we knew early on with this campaign that we had to make it about education, and that is talking about our values and our principles. We did not go into it demonizing the president or the congresswoman, but really talking about real issues, what's going on in your life as an individual, helping people to understand that collective thinking is not beneficial for the whole, as some people like us to believe. And so they started accepting me. Their posture was a little bit different. One, everyone understands that we have to have jobs. We've got to be able to take care of our families. And when we started finding that common ground, and me just spending time with them and developing a relationship and and listening, it just opened up doors. But at the same time, the challenges that I face as a conservative woman, you would think would be really, really bad. And it is at times, but it's also inspirational. I have an opportunity, because of my passion, not only for politics, but for my political beliefs and my ideology, my political ideology. I have an opportunity to share that with people. And it's amazing. They have the same values. You know, they have a lot of the same principles, but there is this loyalty to the Democratic Party. And we start educating them on what the Republicans have done to advance black people in this country, and what the Democrats were doing, and how they end up getting credit for the things that they really worked so hard to have not happen or to come to fruition. Then it's like an eye-opener, you know. So
Oh, yeah,
we
I
spent a
agree.
lot of time educating and talking about things that they really know already in their hearts to be true.
That's great. And I guess just quickly, the incident that happened earlier this summer, I guess just talk a little bit about that and how that affected you. Has this affected your race at all, or?
Yeah. Well, you know, back in June, my husband and I had been putting up signs out, and we had a friend that had personal property off of a major interstate in Jacksonville, Interstate 10. And we had gone out and we had put a sign up, and we thought maybe the rain because that day it had rained and it was really windy. The next day when my husband went by there, he noticed that the sign was knocked down. So we assumed that the rain had knocked it down. Well, when he went to go and find out what happened to the sign, he noticed that my face had been painted white. Now, to this day, we don't know who did it. I did not worry about filing a police report. It was an incident, honestly, that we prayed about for probably 5 days before we even posted this picture on Facebook, because we didn't want that picture to be the face of this campaign. And so we prayed about it, and on Sunday we ended up putting it on the website, and it just immediately just took off. I mean, great American people were so offended by it and so hurt by it that someone would do this. And it was an opportunity for us to really get national attention for the campaign that we never expected. But more importantly, we got to meet great Americans who said, you know what, we don't care about the color of your skin. What's your platform? What's your message? What do you want to do for America? Why are you running this race? And so through all of that, you know, there was a lot of national publicity, honestly, that we could have never paid for, but it got us some attention, and our focus it helped me to refocus on the issues. So we use that as an opportunity, honestly, to bring awareness to the other issues and the reasons I'm running in this district. You know, in Florida, we have 27 districts, and the district that I'm running in is probably about 60% Democrat, a little bit over 50% Black Americans. And we were just not doing real well. Unemployment rate, one of the highest in the state. Our children are not graduating. A lot of people on entitlement programs. So that incident really brought light to the reason I'm in this race and the reason I'm running.
Well, I'm happy to hear that you could spin it in a positive way. That's great.
Yes, it is.
And even on another lighter note, what are your thoughts on 2016? Dr. Ben Carson thinking about running. What are your thoughts on him?
Well, you know, I'm watching and I'm waiting because I think that there are some great candidates, especially on the conservative side, that's going to run. I have had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Carson and speaking with him, and I think he'll be a great person to run, but I'm just sitting back waiting to see who else is going to pop up. What I do know is that I truly believe that 2016 is going to be about conservatives, true conservatives that are going to step forward regardless of what's going on in this country and find a way to bring us together. Common sense approach to politics, common sense approach to what's happening, and to say, you know what, I want to advocate on behalf of America. And I think that's the candidate that we're going to have to watch. And when I say that, you know, people think automatically I'm saying Dr. Carson. I don't know. I think he will be a great guy, but I think that's where it's going to be different. Just like with my race, you know, people look at me and go, Glo, you are in a race that is honestly impossible to win when you look statistically what's happening. But when we talk about the issues and just build relationships, people are so ready for a change, and they understand that I understand. One, we've got to work together. We're Americans first, and that's what I tell people, America first. And so I think that that's what our next candidate is going to be, and I truly believe it's going to be a conservative.
Great message. And a last question. We just heard that Eric Holder is resigning.
Yes.
Do you have any thoughts on that? I know it just came out.
It just came out, and I hadn't had an opportunity to really find out more about that. But here's what's exciting. He needed to go a long time ago. So I'm excited that he's resigning, but I don't put anything past Eric Holder or the President of the United States that he would not be positioning him to advance him to some other position. So I'm always leery when something like this happens. Unless there is some big story that I had not heard about or have not heard about, then I'm just going to wait and see what happens. But with the president and Eric Holder, I don't think anything happens by surprise. I think strategically it's been planned, but I do believe that there's a bigger picture that they have planned for him.
All right. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add before we finish? I mean,
well, you know what, thank you so much for this opportunity. It's very important for me to be able to talk about this campaign and why I'm running, and to understand that we have 39 days to make a difference in this country. There are so many things that Floridians have an opportunity to do, and one is to put a candidate in office that truly want to represent the people. You see, the change that I want to bring about is not anything new. It's what people want already. The ability to be able to take care of themselves. The ability to understand that big government has not been beneficial for us. That we need tax reform, that we need immigration reform, and that we need a strong military now more than ever. And so this is an opportunity for anyone who knows anyone in Florida's 5th District, which is from Jacksonville to Orlando, Florida. It encompasses 8 counties, to really find out more about the Glo Smith campaign. And they can do that by visiting gloforcongress.com. And of course, you can always make an online donation, but get involved and get on the phone and call people and get excited about the future of this country.
We wish you the best of luck, and
Thank you
so much for speaking with us.
Thank you so much.